Mongolian martial arts made the eastern pasture unable to grow. Then about 300 years earlier, the Viking also caused the western waters to rise to live. It is like a summary of the Vikings' dominance. One of the most violent ethnic groups, but also the greatest warriors. Their appearance opened an era in the history of Northern Europe, lasting for nearly 3 centuries from 793 to 1066. In fact, the word Viking does not talk about all nations in Northern Europe. The origin of the word Viking has appeared since the 6th or 7th century in a poem of the ancient river. It means the seafarers, pirates, traders. That is, at that time, Europeans began to identify ethnic groups from the Scandinavian region that was very good at beach and beach at sea. It originates from the Scandinavian peninsula, the Norway, Swedish, Denmark or Finland countries today. The Viking was originally just farmers. Later they took advantage of their strengths to spread around a large area from east to west and then present throughout Europe. As mentioned, Viking people initially only raised and cultivated in the Scandinavian region. However, an event occurred in 750 AD that changed the face of this ethnic group. In a vast territory, more than 30 kingdoms of large and small appeared, causing the war to spend power. In the midst of the war, the disaster happened again. A large cloud of dust spread in the atmosphere due to the impact of stars or meteorites into the soil bottle combined with the eruption of at least a large net of fire that fills the sunlight. It caused the temperature of the northern summer to firmly decrease. The chilly of the endless darkness brings acupuncture points in the Scandinavian region. That great disaster was depicted in the Vikings' beliefs, often known as the Apocalypse Ragnarok. The Apocalypse Ragnarok appears when the sun turns black. That is, the time when the giant cloud of dust covered a large area on the soil bottle. Later, when the cloud was gradually dispelled, the last summer was also returned to the northern region and another generation of Viking people were exchanged. The world of the Scandinavian region turns to a new, brutal form. Perhaps because they had to go through a harsh life. People in this region began to become warriors to invade the territories to abandon Hoang. England is one of the first countries to be eye-catching by Viking. There are monasteries containing many treasures. In addition, Orphy, the king of Mercia, is also the first king of the silver coins that according to Viking this is a great value. Finally, a landing on the island to Isfahan became a pedal for the Viking to start attacking and making England. By 870, the Viking had captured East Anglia, Northumbria, and Mercia, 3 of the 4 territories creating England later. There is only one land of the Kingdom of Familiarity from King Alfred Case. Finally, Alfred the Great has repelled the attack of the Viking people, leading to the compromise to play in England, each holding half of the territory. These details have been engraved through the series The Last Kingdom on Netflix. King Alfred's bodyguard in that movie, Andres Badenberg, a Viking but his strength to serve England, is also a real character in history. Viking has become an endless topic for filmmakers to exploit, especially on online film platforms like Netflix. You can learn more about historical figures with their glorious dimension through other series like Viking. Viking Valhalla. England is the premise for the Viking to reach out to the octopus hose most of the neighboring territories. They landed, robbed prisoners on the west coast of Ireland and placed a permanent base here. In the Mediterranean palace, they threw all the lands of the Netherlands and Germany and hit Paris. In 885, Siegfried, a Viking leader for King Charles of France, was a suitor but was rejected, because the leader led 700 warships and became more than 30,000 people who followed the Seine River to besiege Paris within 11 months. The Viking Empire also reached Russia, Ukraine and fought in many other countries in North Africa. Middle East and Jerusalem. That is, in their era. They dominate and destroy a very large land in Europe as well as surrounding areas. In order to reach out to the land that has never been to, occupies and plundered the booty. The Viking people need weapons and qualities than humans. Their first weapon was the boats, which took them to the New World, with the skill of going to the beach and with the appearance of technology called boom in the 7th century. The Viking have created long boats to make wooden trees. According to the National Geographic, this boat is designed to contain large stones on both sides of the boat network to balance the vehicle before the storm style combined with the weapon compartment on both sides. One of the most advanced warships that the Viking used to use is more than 10 meters long with rising and firm wings to fight the impact of the waves. The upper body lies very little under the sea level, helping these boats glide faster on the waves. In addition, this helps the boats to move into the eastern region to go deep into the territory of the enemy. With 200 warships, they can carry 5,000 troops a day, 150 nautical miles, which is about 280 kilometers. Therefore, the opponent often does not keep up the force to defend. This is too favorable for the Viking to reach out to the empire throughout Europe by the old continent with many countries covered by the coast. Just like that, the Viking people go to the land, plundering and collecting the belt, going to any rich land and being able to cultivate. They repeat new empires there. Do you think Christopher Columbus is the American discovery? Studies have shown another thing: when the Viking has explored the land 475 years earlier than the adventurer. According to the leader of the research team, Michael D. at the University of Groningen, the Netherlands, taking place on the position of wooden fingers in Lassie o Murdaf village in the village source located in Canada, along with traces of the appearance of metal tools. Something indigenous people cannot do it then. University believes that these things belong to the Viking. War is a tool to bring Vikings' ambitions across Europe, and to conquer all. This ethnic group needs the skills and courage of the greatest warriors. The Viking, both men and women, learn martial arts from a very young age. A favorite martial arts and a battle foundation named Julma. Right from 6 or 7 years old, children here have been taught Julma. As a result, Viking always owns a strong team of warriors during the most prosperous period. This martial arts focused on strength, reflexes and especially assertiveness. Not only to fight. Practice. Julma helps the Viking people increase their ability to fight against extreme weather conditions. They consider fighting to be their pride and life. They attach importance to fighting to death so that they can appear in St. Valhalla with good wine, beautiful girls and ultimate glory. Their faith makes the battlefield determination and never back down to all enemies. The Viking people are so aggressive that they create war between their tribes. When they were no longer along the foreign invasion, they killed each other to scramble for the territory. The reform, or sometimes just because of the pride of being hurt. They have the ability to assimilate culture. Not inferior to Han people or Mongolians. Up to now, many ancient words in English still have the origin of the Scandinavian region. The year 1066 marked the Viking era of Hui Hoang to the end. The Noi army was played by King Hallard Handelsstrada, who came to invade England with a fleet of up to 300 warships. On the UK decided in the village of Stamford Bridge, Western Yorkshire, England, led by King Harold, wiped away the Noi troops from the north of England. After that, the two sides of the fire, allowing the Noi to retreat but forever never invaded England. It was the origin of the maximum arc of the Viking era. But in the following years, this ethnic group began to disappear in the Greenland region. The mainland produced great Viking warriors. For a long time, no one explained why the Viking people melted into nothingness since the 14th century. It was not until later that it was discovered that they had to suffer from the influence of climate change. Research from Brown University scientists. The US said that the climate is increasingly pricing which may be the cause of destruction of this community in the 14th and 15th centuries. See, this is concluded by scientists after studying the tapes taken from 2 lakes in Kangalusua. The deep decrease in the summer makes the summer shorter. The winter becomes more frozen, reducing the ability to cultivate and raise the Viking. The frost appeared so that their robbery trips were no longer done with the same frequency as before. Trading activities are delayed, leading to famine and decline. This can be considered as the most popular explanation for the Vikings' disappearance. But can a mighty ethnic group like them easily destroy for this reason? Why are they not sad about southern Europe to avoid the cold? It is still a mystery without answers. Or maybe the Vikings' glorious direction has arrived in time, when other countries know how to fight them. So it is more difficult to make people go to migrants. In any case, the appearance of the Viking is still a remarkable milestone in human history in general. Their goodness made me suddenly appear a thought in my mind. If the Viking appears at the same time as the Mongols and the 2 most powerful armies in the world clash, which party will win? Party will win.